I'm going to quickly introduce who you are for the 2,000 people that are watching.
I 2000. It's not
They
much.
found it out. We found this out the other day.
Mm.
So Stephan Dybus is a visual artist based in Berlin. Born in 1987 in Magdeburg to teenage parents. He
Yeah.
failed to, he failed to become part of a graffiti crew, but managed to study communications at that university that I can't pronounce.
I
Berg.
did. Me neither. Yeah.
Since 2017, he pursues a professional life between art and illustration.
Since
In
when?
20, what?
Since when again?
Since 2017.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
In 2018, you had a solo show here at this gallery.
Ah,
At this
yeah.
gallery, from nowhere to nothing, with 365 paintings. Stephan Dybus, this is your life. Um, how was your recent experience with this Russian project? You had you had some artwork shown in Russia. Is
Yeah,
that's what happened? How
exactly.
was
Yes.
that?
I was at an exhibition over there. I brought over some paintings, and it was a great experience. I was there for a week, sort of, like 7 days, and yeah, it was amazing actually. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of
And it was
great people. Yeah, it's a great city, or
how
like an
so?
extreme. Yeah, it's extreme, It's like, I mean, I don't know that many places, but it's huge, like extremely huge. It's like 3 times Berlin, and it's everything is just so it's rough and sensitive at the same time, Like that's the thing what describes, I think, my experience there best. It's like brutalist and it's sensitive and yeah, kind of like it and I fear it at the same time. Yeah.
Is there a culture shock? Was there anything there that was particularly different to your experiences, exhibiting in Germany or Berlin? Was it different?
Yeah, I think people are like more interested maybe, you know.
Yeah.
And I know it's just like could be. I mean, really, the people are nice and interested and ask a lot. Like I don't know, like in what was the question again?
It was. Was there a culture shock? Yeah, I find it's quite difficult to get one sometimes. But with Russia, I feel it's that bit different. I haven't been there, but I spent a bit of time in an airport there once, and I noticed there were some little social interactions where I was thinking, this is quite a different place actually, and the way people interact with each other is a little bit different. But
I
yeah.
guess so. I guess so. Yes. I think I don't know. Yes, of course, there's a culture shock, and but in the end, you're just surprised how it is a place like every other place. You're just there and you're walking and talking, and you know, you nothing really happens. Like I mean, it's a big culture shock, but I think I had yeah, yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
You've recently begun working with 3D.
Yes.
Why did you get into this? And how is it going?
I was looking for an animation technique, basically. That doesn't consume as much time. It's a really accessible animation kind of rate to do animation because like a lot of other techniques are just that they consume too much time. It's just too hard to do and or takes too long. And this kind of animation, I mean, a computer does the work for you basically. The rendering process of the single pictures is long.
Hmm?
Hello? You hear me still?
Hello?
It just the picture was just frozen for a bit.
No, I was sitting really still.
Ah, right, okay. No, it's just like the animation process is much easier and faster, you know, it doesn't take that much time. And I think like regularly, I like if you hand draw stuff, you know, it's or stop motion, especially stop motion. I'm kind of interested in stop motion. That's why this is really close, and it's such a big range of possibilities, you know, and how you set up your stage and do your stuff. It's great
Mm.
options, and I always like. I mean, I always was into computer aesthetics, you know, like but computer game aesthetics or computer games like the textures and how everything is, but I'm not that interested in digital like illustration, you know, regular digital illustration where you paint on your iPad. It's not interesting for me. But like this
No.
kind of this digital thing, I started to explore, but I want to get more into it and be more honest with the technique that I use, you know, and yeah.
It's translated really well, I think, so far, and I'm curious to see where it's going to go. So
Yeah.
yeah, keep sharing those. I'm really enjoying those videos. You take the piss out of gallery and the contemporary art scene quite a lot in your works. What's your problem?
No, it's life. It's not contemporary art. And I mean, I'm part of it. It's just like I take a piss about life and maybe myself and things around that I see. You know, that are part of. You know, it's not like the gallery scene, but the gallery scene is maybe particularly funny because it's really abstract how it's really abstract sometimes how people behave in certain conditions, you know. You could also do that in a restaurant, you know, but maybe like a fancy restaurant, you know. But it's funny like how people behave in certain situations. Me of course as well, like in certain situations and in an art situation, you know. And I always find myself like I don't when I'm looking at art, I try to put my arms like in a way that I don't look like I'm observing art, you know. I try to be like more. I still find myself thinking about stuff like that, and so that's like you know.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
classic bitch. Yeah,
no, I try to avoid this, you know, like or this. I try to
yeah,
look like really casual, you know, like when I
yeah.
watch the painting. Yeah,
I'm going to observe you next time you're here to see you go through these the
really
vision.
important how you look how you look when you look at something, you know. It's really.
That's the thing we're most of us probably thinking about more than the work. But
Mm.
I think that's just sort of, a way, like it's the humor, the angle that comes through in your work. You look at things and are quite ironic with them and quite, uh, you highlight the absurdity of
Yeah.
certain social situations. And I think galleries and contemporary art have so much material there to take, to highlight how odd it is and how weird. So it makes sense that that comes out in your work. Tell us about your love of Haynes Hagen.
Paint what?
Hannes Hagen.
Hannes Hahn? I don't
You like?
understand what you.
There's you're on your biography somewhere or somewhere we found that you are very
Ah,
influenced by is it the comic books perhaps? Is it a comic
yeah,
book?
that's the GDR comics.
Perfect.
That's like I think everyone who grew up in East Germany knows the stuff. Like, and it's really yeah. I mean, they have like these really beautiful night scenes, for example. You know, like beautiful colors, and I'm really interested
Yeah.
in the surroundings. You know, like how they do the night scenes and the landscapes, and so amazing. Like sometimes. I mean, I have to just
Mm.
like it was not planned. People who are watching this was just completely coincidental. Yeah, but like I like the landscape stuff and this comics. I grew up with them. They were the best comics. I was never interested in the Marvel stuff. I think it's boring. I always was boring, and
Mhm.
the Marvel universe and everything is the movies are boring. But yeah, these comics are great. And look at these kind of. You see that? How
Yeah,
amazingly.
they're coming through a little bit. It's a little bit pixelated, but I can get the gist. We'll post the I think
Yeah, look, I
Arancha
mean, you can look
posted
this up,
names. If you want to look.
it's pretty. I mean, it's a GDR comic. There were not that many. It was considered actually too Western at the start, so they had to. They didn't have these, this comic blasen. When here's the words, so they wrote the here because
Ah,
so
that's
it was
interesting.
considered a comic. You know.
Yeah, so the illustration isn't interrupted by this the text. That's
Yeah, no, and
interesting.
so and because they considered it too Western and too commercial, and comic wasn't considered art, or it wasn't even allowed to publish comics for some time in the GDR. You know, later they introduced those Sprechblasen. I don't what's it in English? Do you know what I mean? Like Sprechblasen?
No.
And and when you have a comic, you have these when they talk.
Oh,
Like
speech bubbles.
yeah, speech bubbles exactly. And the speech bubbles were an issue, and so they were not allowed to have speech bubbles. Like they couldn't because it was banned or forbidden. It was censored. You can't have speech bubbles. In the GDR.
Sorry, I missed that. Is that what? Was there a reason behind that? Did you explain that? Sorry if I missed it.
They
They banned speech bubbles.
speech bubbles was not favored in the GDR. They kind of banned it. They didn't want to have it. It was too Western, to Mickey Mouse, to Disney, whatever. And so they had these comics and they put the words underneath, like in a small text. And later, I think maybe 80s or 70s, 80s, they started then to have these speech bubbles. But yeah, it also explains why we have a huge lack of comic culture in Germany.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. That's interesting. Um, you were part of a drawing fair in Seoul, Korea last year. How was that? Was that a good experience?
What? Drawing what?
The drawing fair in Seoul, Korea.
In Korea,
Hmm.
illustration fair. Ah, yeah, this was just I think they have everywhere this big show where they present illustrators from all over the world, and I just sent the work there, and that's it. Yeah.
So it wasn't you weren't. So it wasn't something you experienced firsthand. It was more of
No,
a.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
Okay.
There's just yeah, I think his name is Insuli, is this guy who's managing all the stuff. He's Korean, of course, and he's I think he's also living in New York, and yeah, I think he's kind of yeah, he's in charge of this, but I don't know much about it, to be honest.
Okay. Move on to the quick
hmm
fire round. It's the quick fire round. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like you really interrupted, you know.
Okay, let's wait for a second then. Maybe it will clear up. How about now?
Mm,
I mean, I can hear you perfectly.
okay, good. So let's start. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
coffee or cigarette?
Coffee. I stopped smoking.
Magdeburg or Dresden?
Dresden. I hate Dresden.
Concrete or trees?
Um, yeah, trees. We need those,
Mickey
I guess.
Mouse,
I've been told.
Mouse, Mickey Mouse or Windows 98?
Mickey Mouse.
Sketchbook or Canvas?
What? Facebook or Canvas?
Sketchbook. Sketchbook or
Ah,
Canvas?
sketchbook.
David Shrigley or Joan Cornella?
I don't know either one of them.
Perfect. Maxim Boxer Gallery or Weserhalle?
Or
Weserhalle.
Weserhalle, Maxim Boxer Gallery is closed, I guess. You know, I think Maxim moved on to a new place, I think.
Easy question. German theatre or American comedians?
German theater.
You've been asked to make an editorial illustration, but you've become very ill.
Well, why compare German theater to American comedians? It's something.
Why not?
I don't know. It's a different kind of. You could.
It's a quick fire round. You've been asked to make You've been asked to make an editorial illustration, but you've become very ill. Do you cancel the job and go back to bed, or do you make a really crappy drawing and try your best?
Yeah, I guess I would do the second one.
In one word, describe what describe something that the quarantine people can do with their time.
The best the one thing I think structure your time is the best thing that you can do. Like to have like a real
advice.
I mean, for me, it's not really different because I structure my day myself. So it's just and the structure is that you stick to a certain pattern and do jogging, like walk outside just by yourself. That's the best thing.
That's way more than one word, Stephan. I'll have to.
That depends. Like I mean, in Germany right now, so it's
up. So this is still to come, but it's been a pleasure catching up with you. All of these interviews will be available to see online. We're going to document them, so it lives outside of Instagram in the long run. But otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Tag, and we will catch up again soon.
Yeah. Okay. See you soon. Yeah.